welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League. Madden Football is the home of the Super Bowl, and this historic matchup is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Buffalo Bills and the Detroit Lions. All that and more coming up next.
After 272 regular season games, 12 playoff games, one last one on the NFL calendar, and it happens tonight as EA Sports welcomes you to the Super Bowl. Coming up, a battle here in the NFL playoffs. It's the AFC champion Buffalo Bills and the champions of the NFC, the Detroit Lions. Good to be in the booth with Greg Olson. I'm Mike Tirico. Greg, this is a passing league. You know that from your days. It's evolved even more into a game in the air. And boy, do we have a couple of quarterbacks who know all about moving their team via the pass.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see this ball thrown early and often throughout the game. And anyone who loves offensive football, this is certainly a treat. And you said it, Mike. This league has turned more and more with each passing season into a passing league. If you can't throw, if you can't generate points through the air and explosive plays, it is going to be very difficult to compete and win week in and week out in today's modern NFL.
The Lions, led by Jared Goff, chanting his name during the playoffs in 2023 in Detroit. Far cry from the trade from the Rams to the Lions, second in the league in passing a season ago.
He admitted to us the other day, Mike, that he's started to feel a little anxious as game day approached, and I think that's normal. Winning the NFC, that's one thing, but this is the type of stage that can take your legacy to a whole nother level if you're able to come out on top. But in order to make that happen, he's going to have to put those nerves behind him as soon as possible. The last thing you want to do is put yourself in an early hole because you just couldn't settle down. If he's able to remain calm, play his game, his team's going to have a great chance to end this night as world champs.
We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. Patrick motioning here. On 2nd down, Goff. Open man, it's Jamison Williams. And he's going to be brought down up past the 45.
Not a whole lot complicated about this play, Mike. That was understanding where the holes of the defense were. Remember, in this zone coverage, you got to find green grass. Get past the first down marker, be friendly to the quarterback, and then the ball has to be out on time before those zone defenders can react to the receiver. It's exactly how it played out here. You can draw up all the fancy plays you want, but when the quarterback and the receiver see it through the same set of eyes, it's virtually impossible to stop.
They'll bring St. Brown in motion. They'll go play action with Goff. Brought in by the tight end, Sam Laporta.
You can see the eyes of the quarterback. He's trying to push this ball initially downfield, but with the defense doing a good job keeping a lid on the coverage, he's forced to check this ball down to the shallow route. But this is something that they know in the future. If I need a couple yards, they can come back to this play.
Off the play fake, here's Goff. And that's going to wind up incomplete. Pressure certainly impacted the quarterback there. Couldn't get his arm all the way through, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
They told us this week they were going to try to come out fast, and tell you what, that's exactly what they did. Put immediate pressure on this secondary and let them know, hey, all game long today, you better defend every blade of grass because we're coming out firing. And even though that ball falls incomplete, it goes a long way in setting up the rest of this game plan as the game unfolds. This offense has to find a way to be better on 1st and 2nd down, Mike. Living in these 3rd and long situations, must pass, is not a recipe that their offensive coordinator wants to operate in.
And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. So, out come the Bills and the face of the franchise, 28-year-old Josh Allen. Year 7 already with Buffalo. The last 4 years, over 4,000 passing yards in each. The man who makes this team go.
As much as you try to tell yourself, Mike, that this is just another game, the reality is it just isn't. It doesn't matter if it's your first Super Bowl or your 10th. This is the game you've dreamt about playing in from the first time you put on pads all the way back in Pop Warner. You're bound to get emotional in some capacity, but you have to get that out of the way and get ready to do everything in your power to turn those childhood dreams of hosting the Lombardi into a reality. As long as this guy does his part, you're going to have a fighting chance to come out on top.
Keon Coleman, the intended receiver. And it'll lead to a second down. They motion the slot man left. On second down, here's Allen. Open man, that's Amari Cooper. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield.
And this is what you can do when you have one of the best receivers in the game. You understand that even if the coverage is not perfect for the play call, sometimes it's just as simple as, my guy is better than your guy, and we're going to just keep giving him a chance.
Here's 1st and 10. They send him right out of the slot. They go play action now. Here's Allen. Fine work defensively. That's going to be knocked away and go down as an incompletion. James Cook, the intended target. It's second down.
I'm not sure there's any position on defense that's undergone as much of an evolution as the linebacker position. In the old days, they were the physical tone setters. They were the tacklers. But now, it's their ability to hold up in coverage, like you saw there, that allows you to keep those guys on the field for all 3 downs.
And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
This is one of those cases where having high-end speed in the backfield can be such a game changer. The offensive linemen don't need to hold their blocks quite as long. You give this guy a little bit of a crease, and man, he is gone.
Ball rests at the 37. It's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground with Cook. He'll struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe he gets a yard out of that one. It's second down. Play clock down to 0. That's going to be a delay. The tight end Kincaid in motion. From the gun, Josh Allen. That's to the rookie from Florida State, Keon Coleman. Well, that helps. It's going to be a much more manageable 3rd down, getting some good yardage on that 2nd down play.
These hitch routes, they're usually just designed to pick up a few safe yards. An easy completion, get some rhythm for your quarterback. However, this time, he's able to make a little magic happen after the catch and turn it into something much bigger than even they were probably anticipating.
Allen on 3rd down. He's got the hook up there to Cooper. That's 2 catches on this drive. This one for 10 yards and a 1st down.
Mike, I think we make so much of all these fancy routes, right? The selling, the head fakes, getting in and out of the break. And while that's really important to create separation, that's really more of a man beater. That's when teams want to just play you one-on-one and you have to beat the defender. Against zone defense, like we saw here, it's a lot more simpler. Understand the concept of the play, understand where the holes in the defense are, and get there and be friendly to the quarterback. And if you're open, stay open. That's NFL route running. That's what the best guys do. Just take what the defense is giving you. When you can stay ahead of the chains and just take these easy pitch and catch throws underneath, hitch routes, quick game, now it puts you in a lot more favorable down and distances to eventually attack this defense a little bit more downfield.
On the zone read, a handoff here to Cook. And he's close to the first down. Gets 4 yards on the gain, but it will bring up third down. Looking to keep a promising drive alive. It is 3rd and a yard. Out of the gun, here's Allen. And he's going to have the first down. They convert on 3rd, and it sets up a 1st and goal.
One of the easiest ways to negate these really good pass rushes in the NFL, Mike, is just to simply get the ball out of the quarterback's hand as fast as possible. And sometimes it's by design, sometimes it's based on need. But really nice job there by the quarterback, getting into the hands of his receiver and then see what he can do after the catch.
That's into the hands of Coleman. And a good job to make sure he didn't get loose. Brought down around the 7. Now here's 2nd and goal. The tight end Kincaid in motion. Allen going to give it to Cook. And the defense stiffening here. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's all. 3rd and goal coming up.
So on 2nd down, they try to hammer it in on the ground, Mike, but now on 3rd and goal, I don't think you had any choice but to put this ball in your quarterback's hands and test this defense through the air.
3rd and goal. From the shotgun, it's Allen. He'll try to run for it. And he'll get this inside the 5, but no further. Great job by the defense. It sets up 4th down.
What a nice play defensively. It's always a bit of a challenge. How long do I stay in coverage defending my zone or my man? Or how fast do I come up and pursue a scrambling quarterback? They did a nice job rallying to the ball late. They're able to bring him down to force 4th down.
Passes kick is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, he does a nice job handling that kick there, but I think offensively, you come back to the sideline and you're thinking, we have to find a way to finish these drives. I mean, to be in 1st and goal and settle for 3, that can be very deflating for an offense settling for too many field goals.
So 3-0 our score, and we are set for the dynamic kickoff. Here's Craig Reynolds to return. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Lions offense ready to take over as we check out the playoff race in the NFC. So they come to the line for 1st down and 10. From the gun, it's Goff. A throw complete to Tim Patrick. They'll gain 17 on that one. A very quick 1st down.
There's a reason certain guys, Mike, just always seem to be open. It's really because route running is more art than it is science. How do you manipulate the defense to find open spots or win versus man to create separation and earn the trust of your quarterback?
Trying to find somewhere to move forward, but nothing going. Tackled for the loss of a yard.
Every team makes an emphasis on winning 1st down, but as a defense, when you're able to take them back for a loss, 2nd and long, you can really become more of a pass-centric defense and really tips the scales into your favor.
They move Laporta, sending him in motion. On play action, Goff. That is hard! And he will score! Amon-Ra St. Brown. Touchdown, Lions.
But you think back to their first possession of this game, Mike, it resulted in a punt. Not exactly the fast start the coaches told us was so important as this game unfolds. They get the ball back for possession 2. Now they try to find some rhythm, find their identity of the game plan, and they come away with 6. So that's how you bounce back in this league. It's not always going to be perfect. Really nice job settling into this game here with their second possession.
Now Jake Bates on for the extra point. He's got it. And the Lions move out to a 7-3 lead. The kickoff team is out on the field, and we're back to it as the kick's away. This will be returned from the 6. And he'll be brought down just beyond the 25-yard line. The Bills offense ready to see what they can do on their second possession. They trail by 4. A touchdown gives them the lead. Drive begins with 1st and 10. In motion, Shakir. Throwing now, Allen here on 1st down. That's taken in by Shakir. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. So, 1 quarter down here on Super Bowl Sunday. 7-3 is our score. More from New Orleans after this. Second down and 3. Throwing is Allen. That's complete to Coleman. And they bring him down, but not until he gets the 45-yard line.
Every once in a while, it just comes down to you need somebody in the huddle to just make a play. And there wasn't a whole lot fancy here. The quarterback just dumps the ball down, a quick underneath completion, and then really it's the yards after catch that did the rest. And that's what it takes. You're not always going to have the perfect play. You're not always going to dial up the perfect play against the perfect look. Sometimes players need to make plays, and that was a good one there.
That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8. Here's 2nd and 2. Now some movement up front. Flags down. Mistake-filled first half continues. One more time going up top with Allen. They'll set up the screen to Cook. Give him 13 on that screen play. And a 1st down.
There's this misconception out there, Mike, that in the NFL, you have to run the same amount of run plays as you do pass plays. And as you're seeing in this drive, you can fall on one side of that coin a little bit more as long as you're able to remain effective and efficient. So far, their passing game has dominated here early, and that last pickup leads to a 1st down.
And he'll manage to bring this down to about the 37. Zadarius Smith, the linebacker, in on the stop. They'll come up on a 2nd down and 8. The tight end, Kincaid, in motion. From the gun, it's Allen. Looking middle, he's got it complete to Coleman. And that's a 1st down. It will be a gain of 8. On the handoff, this is Cook. And a good job following his blockers, a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd down. Allen to throw. That one pinballs around, but it is incomplete. Trying to get it to Dalton Kincaid there. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
It's rare to see an offense that finds themselves trailing and say, well, their quarterback's been actually one of their biggest bright spots. Usually that doesn't go hand in hand, so it's a little surprising to see him miss a throw like that on a day where he's completed passes at a highly efficient rate.
And he's going to pick up the 1st down. He knew where that marker was and made sure he got beyond it.
Now they're entering the area of the field, especially with the amount of yards they've gained on this possession, Mike, where it feels like a touchdown is critical. For the defense, settling for a field goal here, especially with the ball where it is, feels like a win.
On 1st down, it's Allen. That's caught left side by Cooper.
Certainly not the biggest play of the day, but a good example of picking up positive yardage, staying ahead of the chains by a well-timed ball and a well-timed route.
We'll come to the line now on 2nd and 2. To throw again, it's Allen. And that's going to be incomplete. Coverage was good that time. The contact jarring the ball loose and forcing 3rd down.
Here in the first half, we've seen nothing but connections from these two guys. I mean, they've come out completely on fire, so the defense finally gets a stop, and really the first time we've seen these guys be a little bit off.
He'll try and run here with Cook. Searching for some kind of seam to go forward. It's not there. They get him behind the line. 4th down coming up.
How often do we see linebackers be so fast trying to track down the ball carrier that they end up actually overrunning the play and allowing the running back to cut back? But not this guy. Does a great job staying in phase, stretching this ball out sideways, and he brings him down for a loss.
The field goal unit on the sideline. They'll line up to go for it on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Allen. He's got it at the 3. And he will have the 1st down. So they roll the dice on 4th down in the red zone. And it pays off with 1st and goal.
And this is the blueprint, Mike. The ability to sustain and maintain possession and methodically move the ball down the field in the process. The defense has had no answers up until this point. And now the next step is, can they come away?
And he's in. Dalton Kincaid. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Now, remember back, Mike, their first drive, they had to settle for 3. So they definitely didn't want to have to do that again. So really solid drive from start to end, and they're finally able to cap it off with a touchdown.
Tyler Bass now for the extra point. He's got it. And the Bills are on top. It's now 10-7. Following the touchdown, Bass is back to kick it off. To return, it's Khalil Dorsey. And he'll be taken down right at the 29-yard line. That's Amon-Ra St. Brown and the rest of the Detroit offense heading out for their next possession. This one has been tight so far. A field goal separating the two sides as this drive kicks off with 1st and 10. They'll start this one on the ground with Gibbs. And he'll push his way ahead for a gain of 2. Big Ed Oliver there on the tackle. Second down and 8. Out of the shotgun, it's Goff. That's a short one caught by Laporta. They'll get maybe 3 out of that one, and it's going to set up 3rd down.
And this is where the versatility of the tight end position really starts coming into play. Not only do they have to line up with their hand on the ground, but they can occasionally split out in the slot. And man, they're too fast for linebackers, and a lot of times they're too big for defensive backs.
He's got his tight end, that's Laporta. And he's going to be taken down at the 30-yard line.
This defense just gets punched in the mouth on that one, Mike, and it just seemed from up here that not everyone on defense was on the same page, and the offense was able to take advantage of it. The defense has to clean things up here in a hurry, because if they don't, they could be in for a long day.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Here's Goff. He connects with St. Brown. He's close to a 1st down to gain a 9. Nice pitch and catch on 1st down. A good spot here, 2nd and a yard. To throw is Goff. This one caught by Patrick. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the 1st down.
I think they're going to have to be more creative here on the back end with the types of coverages they show this quarterback. Change the look pre-snap to post-snap. Mix in zone, mix in man. They got to make it more challenging on the quarterback going forward.
Goff gives it to Gibbs. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play.
All the qualities that make a good safety are seen on display on this play. Speed, pursuit, and then the intensity and the strength at the point of contact for the tackle to keep this ball carrier to no gain. That is a complete safety play.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Goff to throw. And that one knocked away. It's incomplete.
So as halftime looms, Mike, they have to find a way to capitalize on this drive right here and make sure they end the half with some sort of points. Now, that incompletion, not ideal, but at the very least, it stops the clock. Catch your breath, get back in the huddle, and this next play, it's got to be a gotta-have-it best play call.
And that is incomplete.
Ends up hitting the ground. They've got to move forward. The opportunities are out there. Better execution, better location, and they got some big plays in their future.
On 4th down, that brings Jake Bates out for the Lions field goal. This from extra point range, a 33-yard field goal attempt.
And that's really well done here, Mike. I mean, everything's in rhythm. A good snap, a good hold, and a good kick ties this game.
So the field goal ties things up, and we're back at it as this kicks away. On the return, it's Ty Johnson. And he'll be brought down right around the 25-yard line. So now here comes the Buffalo offense heading back out onto the field. They'll see if they can go about breaking our tie. We're all even at 10 as this drive begins, 1st and 10. Slot man in motion left. They'll throw on 1st down with Allen. That's to the left side and taken in by Coleman. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards.
Similar to a tight end, the slot receiver is often considered the safety blanket. He makes all the difficult catches, tends to be a little bit more around the line of scrimmage, and so far today, he's certainly lived up to that reputation.
From the gun, Josh Allen. That's caught downfield by Cooper. And he'll be out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35-yard line. A big play here in the big game. 33 yards.
The biggest correlation between scoring points in the NFL is your ability to generate explosive plays. And oftentimes, the best explosive plays in the passing game happen when the quarterback is outside the pocket, and great example of it here.
Now Allen on 1st down. They try to set up the screen, but this one doomed from the start. It's incomplete.
He decides to go with this safe throw and throws it well short of the sticks. And at this level, Mike, you just can't miss layups like that.
They motion the slot man left. Throwing again, it's Allen. Throw is caught by Cooper on the right side. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line.
That last completion's going to go a long way towards at least finishing this 2-minute drive, Mike, with some points. You're already in field goal range, so now the idea is continue to work the clock down, take a couple shots at the end zone. You want to get points, ideally a touchdown, but either way, you have the ball last before the end of the 2nd quarter.
Here's 2nd and 6. Slot man in motion left. Again, it's Allen to the air. And a good effort there defensively. It's knocked away and incomplete.
They couldn't quite connect there on that short pass, Mike, and I just think it's worth reminding everyone how different the concepts are down here in the red zone than what the rest of the game plan calls for in the normal part of the field.
3rd and 6. In motion, Shakir. On 3rd down, it's Josh Allen. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Tyler Bass on to try the field goal. This one from 39 yards out. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Bills going to take the lead. It's now 13-10.
And I think this is going to end up being considered a successful drive, Mike. I think obviously you would have loved to see them come down and convert and score a touchdown. But at the very least, they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
They didn't leave much time on the clock to put together a drive here at the end of the 1st half. And the kickoff's coming their way. To return it, it's Dorsey. And their drive will begin at the 30-yard line. The Lions offense going to get it one final time in this first half. They'll do so with 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Goff. It is caught left side by St. Brown. They'll work now on 2nd and 4. To throw is Goff. Right side, that's Laporta, the tight end. And that's going to be a first down. A pickup of 9. On play action, Goff. And he got rid of that one quickly before the receiver even knew what was going on. That's incomplete. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the receiver he was trying to target, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, Goff. That's going to wind up incomplete. Not much time remaining. Time for one more snap here in this first half.
For the most part, he's been very accurate with the ball. I mean, he's completing over 60% of his passes, but because they haven't been able to get any big explosive plays, continue to push the ball downfield, hasn't really translated on the scoreboard just yet.
And that is incomplete. One final chance does not work out. Time has expired. The first half has come to an end.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. And what a season this has been, and it is nearing a conclusion. You guys enjoy the show out there. We'll get it back out to you, too, in just a moment. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level first half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
Okay, Coach, thanks a bunch. We'll see which team's adjustment's going to pay dividends here. They're likely going to play a big role in who wins this one. Two quarters left in the NFL season as we decide a champion. Back underway here at the Super Bowl. And it'll be brought down past the 25. Decent field position to start this drive. The Bills offense going to have a first crack at it as we begin this third quarter. They lead by a field goal as they go to work with a 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Cook. And he's going to have a Bills first down as the tackle's made at about the 38-yard line.
This is where you have to be careful, Mike. You find yourself winning in the second half. Human instinct says, all right, let's just sit on the ball and protect the lead and let the clock run out. You can't do that. Stay aggressive. Do what got you here. Continue to mix the run with the pass. Keep your foot on the gas and try to extend this lead.
Throwing now, Allen here on first down. A shotgun snap. He'll look to throw. A pass caught right side by Coleman.
Really nice job there to move the chains early in this drive, but now as they approach midfield, continue to keep your foot on the gas. Don't get conservative. Don't start sitting on the ball. Cross midfield and go. Anytime you find yourself on your opponent's side of the field, you have to be thinking points.
The tight end Kincaid in motion. On first down, it's Allen. That's over the middle, taken in by Cooper. And he's close to another first down as he's brought down just shy of the marker. To throw again, it's Allen. He'll find his running back, Cook. And they'll move this ball way down into the red zone, inside the 20-yard line.
This is like a textbook, methodical, efficient NFL drive. 4 for 4 throwing the ball, mixing in some run. You're just marching the ball downfield at your will, and they get a fresh set of downs now to see if they can convert this nice drive into some points.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. On 1st and 10, it's Cook. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. Once again, it's Cook. And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal coming up. They try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
This is a situation that play callers love to be in, Mike. They have all their options on the table. 2nd and short, play action pass. You can run. In this case, they choose to keep it on the ground, play it safe, pick up the 1st down.
Here's Cook. Down to the 4, it'll be 2nd and goal. So now they'll throw it with Allen. That's to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Amari Cooper was the man he was looking for, and now it's 3rd and goal.
It's hard to play that ball any better than the way that defender did right there. I mean, to stay patient throughout the entire play and make sure that not only are you in prime position to make it, but then once the ball is there, attack it, knock it down, and save a touchdown.
That one taken in. Khalil Shakir. Touchdown, Bills. Tight spaces down there. Things happen quick. Greg, a quick decision and great execution for the score.
You're exactly right, Mike. Down here this close to the goal line, everybody's clock has to speed up. Not only the quarterback processing to get the ball out of his hand, but you have to win as a receiver quickly and give the quarterback somewhere to go with the ball. It was that quickness at the line of scrimmage that led to that touchdown.
Pass now for the extra point. The kick is good. And the Bills will extend this 3rd quarter lead. Following the touchdown, Bass is back to kick it off. Reynolds now on the return. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. The Lions offense ready for their first possession of this 2nd half. The deficit is at 10, so an important drive forthcoming. Getting started with 1st and 10. Williams in motion. On 1st down, it's Goff. That's right side and brought in by Williams. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8. Here's a handoff to Gibbs. And he'll be close to a 1st down. A gain of a couple as they mark him just short. Here's 3rd down and a few inches. They're going to try to run here with Gibbs. And this is going to work out. He's got it. The 1st down at the 38-yard line.
I think everybody in the stadium saw that run coming, Mike, but good luck stopping it. I mean, all he really had to do was just fall forward, and it would be enough to pick up the 1st down.
So, 1st and 10 here now at the 38. They move Laporta, sending him in motion. 1st down, and they stick with Gibbs. And not a whole lot going to come from that one. Go to about the 39. Here's a 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, it's Goff. That is intercepted. Picked off by Christian Benford. And his offense is going to be all set up with a short field and a chance to extend their lead.
I think anytime you find yourself trailing in the 2nd half, Mike, all offensive play callers fight the urge to chase those points. They tend to get a little bit overeager. They tend to push the envelope sometimes a little too far. Those turnovers, they only make the deficit grow, not shrink. Now, there's a lot of football left, Mike. They can still get back into this. They just have to be a little bit smarter about which risks you're willing to take.
First and 10. They'll run straight ahead with Cook. And good blocking up front, paving the way for a gain of 8 on the ground. In motion, Shakir. From the shotgun, it's Allen. Off-balance throw. It's complete. And he'll be taken down. The gain is 6, and it's a new set of downs. He picked up the 1st down.
And this is what modern-day running back looks like in the NFL. They want to be able to activate these players in the passing game, no different than they do with the tight ends and the wide receivers. When you look out there and you have a mismatch, you have a linebacker or a safety on your running back, he's expected to win, and that's exactly what he did here. Defense does a nice job here initially using zone coverage to take away the middle of the field. That's the most valuable real estate in football. Quarterback gets off his first read, sees some openings to the sideline, and him and his receiver are able to connect.
They'll come up now for 2nd down and 4. Out of the gun, here's Allen. They go right back to Coleman. He's got it again. And that's going to be a 1st down. A pickup of 9.
Receiver just finds himself in a really nice groove, and there's these weird times in the game, Mike, where it just seems like every ball comes your way, every play they call, you're wide open, and you just find yourself in one of those grooves that athletes talk about. So they got to continue to ride the hot hand, because right now on that field, there's no mistaking who it is.
That's catch 3 just on this drive, and it gets his team a first down.
I love the way the ball's been moving around to different guys this drive, Mike. I mean, it really keeps the defense guessing and off balance. And now this defense is going to have to figure out how to keep this offense out of the end zone because it's first and goal.
Here's a run. A dive, and he's in. James Cook, touchdown Buffalo. Good drive. They kept the ball. Greg, they moved it effectively down the field and finish it off on the ground for the touchdown.
So often, Mike, we see teams work on a great drive to get down here close, only to settle for a field goal. But in this case, give them a lot of credit. They put a great drive together, but they're able to capitalize and finish it off with 6.
Here's Bass now for the extra point. His kick is good. And the Bills are able to extend the lead. Following the touchdown, Bass is back to kick it off. To return it, it's Dorsey. He'll work his way across the 25-yard line. The Lions offense about ready to take over once more. The deficit is 17, so they got to start cutting into it soon. See if it starts here. 1st and 10. On the ground to start, they give it to Gibbs. And nothing on that one, back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it.
At this point in the game, Mike, we just haven't seen a lot of fire out of this offense. Here's another run, simple handoff, no gain.
Off the play fake, here's Goff. The pressure, too much, and he goes down. One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. And Sunday Night Football continues after this. Work to do following the sack. It is 3rd and long. Here's Goff. He's going to let this one go deep. That is knocked away downfield, incomplete. He made sure not to let the receiver get behind him. 3rd down stop sets up 4th down.
I think the biggest issue and why they find themselves trailing in this game, Mike, has really just been the ups and downs of this passing game. At sometimes, he's highly accurate and efficient, but at others, he just misses too many easy throws. Question is, are they going to be able to overcome this quarterback inconsistency and pull this game out? You find yourself down big. It's the 4th quarter. There's really no choice but to go for this at this point. But once again, this defense, they're up to the task, and they come through yet again with a huge stop.
The Bills offense ready to get back to work. As we look back at some of the highlights of this one, you'll see a lot of them, Greg, coming from the passing game. They've done a nice job picking the defense apart.
Yeah, and I think that's the right way to say it. It hasn't necessarily been just a bunch of deep shots, a bunch of explosives. It's been more methodical. It's been precise. They've really been all over their execution, and this is about as close to a complete performance as you're going to see from any offense throughout the course of this season.
Set to go now on 1st and 10. Slot receiver, headed right. They'll throw on 1st down with Allen. Who else? Another catch for his favorite target. And that keeps him ahead of schedule. That's a 1st down completion of 7 yards. Here's a 2nd and 3 forthcoming. Josh Allen on the bootleg. Now he'll run it. And the Bills are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
I love this call, Mike. 2nd down and short. One of the best downs in football to take a shot. Give credit to the defense. They were ready for it. But a nice job by the quarterback, realizing there's nothing downfield. Take off, turn into a runner, pick up the 1st down.
That's going to be intercepted in the end zone.
So much of that play comes down to the defender's positioning. Being able to get himself to a spot to get his hands on the ball and a chance at that pick. Mike, when that ball was thrown, me and you are sitting here saying, that's a touchdown. And instead, they force a turnover, and now their offense is back on the field.
Here's the Detroit offense now, headed back onto the field. They'll start out 1st down and 10. Throwing, Goff. To the right side, that's St. Brown. That's a nice pickup on a 1st down throw. It's a gain of 8. On 2nd down, Goff. That's a short one caught by Laporta. And they'll pick up the 1st down, a gain of about 4.
This play is actually really well defended here. But I'll tell you, Mike, as you know, my philosophy is the tight end is always open, and this just supports my case.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll bring St. Brown in motion. Goff going to throw here on 1st and 10. That's caught by Gibbs.
Man, he fit that one in a tight window. One thing he showed off was his arm strength and his accuracy, but in the grand scheme of things, it didn't really amount to much.
They move Laporta, sending him in motion. Throwing on 2nd down. Goff. This one caught by Patrick. And they bring him down, but not until he crosses midfield.
And this is a tricky part of the game for any defense. You find yourself protecting a late lead, and the age-old question is, do you remain aggressive? Do you try to just keep the ball from being thrown over your head and make everything be tackled and played in front of you? That's what every defensive coordinator struggles with, so they can't get too soft here as they try to hold on to this lead here late.
And he's close to another 1st down as he's brought down just shy of the marker.
The receiver thought he had a nice soft spot in that zone coverage, and he settles down to give a nice target to the quarterback, but the defense had eyes on him the entire time. Secure rally tackle prevents that from turning into a big play.
A 2nd down throw for Goff. He's got Laporta open on the left side. And it'll be a short pickup. That's not enough for the first down.
Really well done here by the defense, Mike, executing this zone defense, and they've got to be able to pattern read. You're not just going to drop back to a spot and just play like a robot. Based on what the receivers do off the line, the defenders have different rules of where their zones move to. Well, they had that one dialed in right from the jump, and they were able to stop that play really before it got started. Really just comes down to everybody understanding the situation. You realize, how many yards do I need to get for the first down? And just make sure at least one of my receivers is past the sticks. That's where he went with the ball, and they're able to convert.
On 1st and 10, here's Goff. Working the sideline, that's St. Brown.
Nice job here by the defense. Did a good job just covering up everything for the most part. So once this ball was caught, really didn't have much of a choice but to just head out of bounds and pick up a modest gain.
2nd and 7. From the gun, it's Goff. Down the field, he's got St. Brown. How about 4 catches on this drive alone? Time to change the defense. This one gets him another first down.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They clearly have a mismatch in their favor, and every time they've looked his way, he's continued to make big plays. If I'm this coordinator, I think I'm giving him one more shot and see if he can push this thing over the goal line and come away with 6.
The hole closes quickly. He'll pick up about 3. They face 2nd down and 7. Here's Goff. He's got his big tight end, Sam Laporta. Touchdown, Detroit. Well, Greg, the light's still on way down at the end of the tunnel here. They are climbing back into this one with that touchdown here in the 4th quarter.
And they have a tall task ahead of them, Mike, but they have a chance. I mean, we've seen stranger things happen. They got a 2-possession game here late. They're going to need a couple stops, and they're going to need a couple things to bounce their way.
Bates now for the extra point. He knocks it through, and the Lions are able to cut the deficit to 10. Both teams ready to go once more as the kick's away. Johnson now to return. And he's brought down right at the 25-yard line. The Bills offense and the veteran Amari Cooper set to take over once more. Their lead is 10. They go back to work, trying to add to it. It begins with 1st down. From the gun, it's Allen. And the rush gets there. He'll be tracked down.
That's a prototypical coverage sack. All 11 guys on the field doing their job. Starts with sound back-end coverage. Nowhere to go quick with the ball. The quarterback has no chance but to extend the play. Look for something late developing downfield. That was all the time this front needed to chase him down and bring him down for a sack.
After the loss of 3, it is 2nd and 13. Slot man in motion right. From the gun, Josh Allen. A pass caught right side by Coleman.
Outbreaking routes, Mike, especially outside of the numbers, everything is about the timing. If you're late with the throw, you're going to be watching that defensive back take that thing the other way for 6.
What can they do here on 3rd down and 7? Cooper going in motion. On 3rd down, it's Allen. He's got his man. That's Kincaid. And he'll be brought down, but not before they get this all the way up near midfield.
That might end up being the backbreaker right now. This defense desperately needed to get off the field and give their offense a chance to cut into this 2-score lead. But instead, they now got to defend a fresh set of downs. And as you look up at this clock, they might be running out of time. Or the down and distance, Mike, the linebackers have different reads. Sometimes they read the offensive lineman, sometimes they read the running back. In this case, his read brings him right to the play. He's able to make a big stop and keep the game to nothing.
Just under 2 minutes to play on Super Bowl Sunday. We're back to write a finish to the season after this. We'll try again. It's 2nd and 10. A run up the middle with Cook. He'll get about 3, and that's going to lead to 3rd down. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, they'll use another timeout on this side of it at 1:55. You've got to consider this an absolute must-stop defensively. It's 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Taking off, he'll try to get there. Now Detroit's going to use their 2nd timeout. They'll be disappointed there after giving up the 1st down. They'll run with Cook. Give them 15 more on that one. They are on the move. It's a 1st down.
This is the moment in the game, Mike, where it really matters to have a run game. You find yourself winning here late. You want to try to run the clock out and finish with the ball. And boy, do they ever. Give credit to this offensive line and running back. They came through when their team needed them the most.
They'll keep it on the ground with Cook. And he finds some space, tackled after a gain of 7 on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 3 to go. Allen going to give it to Cook. And that'll give him a 1st down. Tackle made after the pickup of 3.
I think this 2nd down call, Mike, they were hoping that at worst they had themselves set up for a 3rd down and short. But there's no need for 3rd down. He was able to get enough on 2nd, and they get a fresh set of downs.
They can still get a 1st down at the 1. 1st and 10, they go from the 11. Victory very much in sight now as they'll take a knee. And the Bills have done it. They are your Super Bowl champions. So this, a well-deserved celebration down on the field. You know, Greg, it wasn't totally mistake-free, but about as solid a performance as you could hope to have on the big stage in the big game.
And to think about all the people that had their hand in this, Mike, of course we see on the field the players, their ability to perform at such a high level goes without say, but then you think of the group around them, the coaching staff, their ability to game plan, and then the front office and the GM who put this roster together. Those are the efforts of a lot of people that went into this Super Bowl victory.